Roofing shingles are a traditional way of protecting valuable buildings. Lemminkainen's roofing shingles are continuing this tradition. They are watertight, durable, and quiet, a quality roofing material manufactured from pure, natural raw materials. Before fitting the shingles, check that there is sufficient ventilation for the underframe. Ventilation is normally provided on the cold side of the roof structure, in other words, between the thermal insulation and the underframe. The distance between the thermal insulation and the boarding must be at least 75 millimeters. However, it is not sufficient just to have a ventilation gap. You must also ensure that air can enter the gap from underneath the eaves and exit through either a ridge vent or ventilation holes. Lemminkainen roofing shingles can be fitted on a roof with a minimum inclination of 1 to 5. In practical terms, this means a maximum of 5 meters of roof surface for each meter of elevation. Overcast weather and a temperature of about plus 20 degrees centigrade are the ideal conditions for fitting shingles. In any event, the temperature should be above plus 5 degrees. The underframe of the roof must be solid and even. It can consist of rough tongue and groove boarding or moisture-resistant construction board. The thickness of the substrate material depends on the truss spacing. Even old felt roofing from renovation sites will do as a base, provided that it is flat and firmly fixed on the underframe. When the roofing shingles arrive at the site, they should be stored on level ground and protected from rain and sunshine. The easiest way to do this is to cover them with a light tarpaulin. You will need the following tools for fitting the roofing shingles: a good hammer, a Stanley knife, a sufficiently long measuring tape, a silicone sealant applicator, a steel spatula, and a carpenter's pencil for marking. Start the roofing work by fitting the underlay membrane parallel to the lower eave. Fix the top edge of the membrane with felt tacks at intervals of 15 to 20 centimeters. The next membrane sheet is placed on top of the previous sheet with a minimum overlap of 10 centimeters and nailed onto the underframe. Remove the protective plastic from the adhesive edges and attach them to each other. Use a knife to chamfer the upper edge of the eave. Roll open the eave strip and remove the protective plastic. Bend 1.5 centimeters of the strip over the eave and nail it down at 5 centimeter intervals. Another alternative is to use an eave molding made of sheet metal. The moldings are put in place with a 3 centimeter overlap and nailed down using a zigzag pattern and 10 centimeter spacing. A self-adhesive pikipoika eave strip is then fitted onto the eave molding with an overlap of 5 centimeters at the joints. At the gable eave, a triangular batten is fixed below the underlay membrane. The membrane is stretched around the batten. The roofing shingles are brought to the side of the batten and fixed with jointing glue. The eave is finished using a gable eave molding. Roofing shingles are lightweight and easy to work with. They have 2 separate adhesive strips. The narrow strip is intended for aligning the shingle so that its position can be checked before finally fixing it with the other adhesive strip. Start by fitting 1 shingle on each side of the center of the lower eave. Remove the protective plastic from the alignment strip and press the shingle into place. If you like, you can align several shingles before finally fixing them. Then remove the protective plastic of the lower adhesive strip and firmly press the shingle into place. Use 4 felt tacks to attach the shingle, placing them 2 centimeters from the upper edges of the notches. You can also use staples that are at least 1.6 millimeters wide. At the end of each row, the shingles are cut along the edge of the gable eave and their ends are fixed by applying a 10 centimeter wide strip of jointing glue. When the first row of shingles has been nailed down, start the next row using the waste piece left over from the previous row. The lips of the shingles of the new row are aligned with the notches of the previous row. In this way, they will also cover the tacks. The valley on an L-shaped roof is put in place using an adhesive eave strip. Remove the protective plastic behind the strip and nail it down using 10 centimeter spacing. If you're using Supra 10 Plus membrane, fix it at the edges with jointing glue. Leave a 15 centimeter area at the bottom of the valley free of shingles. Cut the ends of the shingles parallel to the valley using an alignment board. Fix the shingle ends with jointing glue. Ventilation pipes and other small lead-throughs are sealed by cutting a hole in the underlay membrane with a diameter measuring about 10 millimeters less than that of the pipe. A special lead-through seal is fitted around the pipe according to the manufacturer's instructions. A piece of underlay membrane measuring about 60 by 60 centimeters is placed between the lead-through seals and the shingles using jointing glue. The bottoms of chimney stacks or other large lead-throughs are rounded off using triangular wooden battens. Place a separate piece of underlay membrane measuring 30 centimeters against the lead-through and attach it with jointing glue. Fix the shingles below the lead-through and on each side of it to the top edge of the triangular batten. Cut strips of membrane for the base of the lead-through and raise them at least 30 centimeters against the sides of the lead-through. Fix the strips to the underlay membrane and the shingles using glue. Finally, protect the entire structure with sheet metal. Cover the ridge with ridge shingles. 4 shingles cover 1 meter of ridge. Remove the protective plastic. Press the ridge shingle into place and attach it with nails in such a way that they are overlapped by the next shingle. The last ridge shingle is not nailed down, it is only fixed with jointing glue. Alternatively, a ridge vent can be fitted along the entire ridge. It will ensure a continuous flow of air along the roof structure. The ridge vent is fixed with nails and covered with a self-adhesive bitumen strip. Bitumen roofing shingles are manufactured in 2 cut shapes, the traditional diamond-shaped K-type and the wavy S-type. You can select the color of your roofing shingles from more than 10 alternatives.